Hey guys, welcome to Faz Radio. We are live today. Send out that that announcement, Mr. Titan.
I will. We've already got 2 waiting, it looks like.
Wow, really? People actually waiting for us.
All right.
Uh-oh. I am hearing myself echo back on my computer. I better shut that off somehow.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, I know it's. Wait a minute. That ain't right.
All right. So
Wait a
yes.
minute. Wait a minute. We
What-
have a
what?
problem.
What's our problem?
I'm trying to send the announcement out. It says it's going to everyone, but it says 1,100 people. We have way more than that. You want me to hit
Do it
enter
anyway.
anyway? All right.
Do it anyway.
There we go.
All right. So, yeah, today we're hoping to talk about some taxes. Taxes are a big deal, people. If you have crypto, you better be thinking about your taxes. They are due April 18th this year instead of April 15th. However, you better get working on it sooner because if you've done a lot of trading, you're going to have to show all your NFT purchases. And I guarantee you will, if you're trading Gala game stuff, you're not going to be finding any tools out there that will support ERC 1155s.
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
So what you'll probably need to do is put together a spreadsheet with your, stuff you've traded, when you traded it, and so on. And actually, I can give some links as to you can download a CSV from Etherscan itself of your transactions.
And we can tell you if you've been following along in the tax room. Well, we have more than one now, but the taxes, how's that phrased? Where's that room? I got to scroll down. We have too many rooms.
Called
it's a
channels,
good thing.
Sir.
Right. Rooms, channels. Taxes, regs, and banking. Faz and I have been doing the hard work for you. We've literally signed up and tested, what are we on? 9, 10 different places you can go. TaxBit, Accointing, Coinly. God, I lost track how many we have now. We've gone on all of them to give them a whirl and compare what each one says, what each one does. We're coming up with some thoughts that we'll dump into that channel as we go along. My personal favorites right now is still Coinly, even though it's a pain in the rump sometimes. Accointing seems to do very well with gathering the transactions and classifying them correctly. But that's evolving because everybody is updating, everybody's scrambling to get them to be the choice by April 18th. So keep an eye on that channel and the crypto or the taxes ID 10T. If you don't have permissions for that, join the talk in the taxes and regs room. And if you're a participant, we can give you permission for the other room as well.
Called channels, sir.
I know, I'm stuck on that. I'm an old school guy. I was doing Yahoo Chat when it looked like an 8-bit website. I used to play poker all the time, and you and I have been in this space with the interwebs now for a very long time. So I'm learning channels.
Beans. So, yeah. Taxes have been a pain in my butt because Coinly doesn't support everything. And
Coinly has been well, and Faz and I were talking offline the other night. We sit on the phone for hours as we're both testing different platforms. And here's the thing: it's typical that you see in the IT and computer world. They go to fix one thing and they break like 4 other things. I logged in to one of these tax platforms over 3 days, and over 3 days, my transactions were coded differently every time I logged in. So they're pushing fixes to try and get it right, and they're breaking other things. And that doesn't bring my confidence up, but at the same time, they are trying. which is a good thing. Hopefully they'll get it. Hopefully they'll add the 1155 ERC NFT tokens. We'll
So
just have to wait and see.
I did paste in a link in the chat on YouTube, at least. I think it went to YouTube and Twitch. Etherscan has a feature. When you go and look at your wallets in Etherscan, if you go down on the transactions in the bottom right-hand side, you'll see export to CSV. And when you click on that, then you could choose a date range, and then it'll give you a CSV file. You can use that to, and you can click on any of the tabs, like the ERC 1155 tab, and then get those. And at least you'll have a CSV to give to your tax preparation person. Your tax prep person will probably want more detail than what's in there. The bad news is, if you've done a lot of trades, it might take a number of steps to get everything done. And my problem is I've been looking and looking for people that will actually do this, that I can pay them, but I haven't found a single one. So I'm doing it myself.
Well,
so
everybody's going to have different opinions. Everybody's accountant seems to be telling them different things.
Yeah.
Everybody's attorneys are telling them different things. The software is telling us another thing. This is going to be a nightmare for the next year or two until they all get their stuff together.
Just accept the idea that you're going to get audited, and then if you don't, then you'll feel good about it.
Well, and as you guys who are longtime Faz radio listeners know, Faz and I love to argue, and we don't just argue on the show. We argue.
We don't argue
on our
just
phone
for you
conversation.
guys.
Yeah, we argue all the time. And so one of the big things that I'm trying to stress as we go through this is, you know what? We're giving our best effort. As long as you're not like outright lying or purposefully not putting wallets into those software aggregators to avoid taxes, quite honestly, I don't think you're going to have a problem, even if you're audited. They don't know what they're doing either. Okay, we're best effort. Another one of our very close friends here threw that out there, and it kind of reiterates that. Give it your best legitimate effort. That's all you can do at this point, because there is no number one solution. There's no fail-safe solution at this point for it.
Keep talking. I was just doing a tweet.
I keep forgetting. I can't hear your keyboard clicks anymore, so I don't know when you're actually doing that.
Well, that means I'm doing. Oh, my microphone's over here. I should probably talk here, right?
Yeah, you sound fine though. No, I don't. I
now?
don't hear. You don't know. You don't sound like you're in a bucket.
Maybe it's using my headphones.
So these other regulations, they put out the fire alarm last week with Biden coming out with an executive order next week that's going to take charge of crypto. We haven't seen anything on that yet.
But it's coming because he cited national security. I want to jump in here real quick. So it's kind of funny. So, we have the whole political thing going on, which I don't want to get into, but, Russia's thinking about invading Ukraine, and Biden's like, don't you do that. And then Russia's like, at the same time, Russia's like, you know what? We're going to ban crypto. And then Biden's like, well, you better not invade Ukraine, because we'll cut off access to SWIFT. SWIFT is the payment processor. If you make like a MasterCard purchase or a bank card purchase or whatever, it's a payment processor. And of course, they need to use it for remittances between different countries and so on. And so Biden's like, well, we're gonna just make it so you can't have access to SWIFT. You won't be able to pay anybody. And then Russia, either the day or the next day, is like, you know what? I don't think we're going to ban crypto. Actually, there's some good things about crypto. And then the president of Russia speaks up, and he's like, yeah, that's kind of outdated now. And there's some good things about crypto. And then Biden, right after that, he's like, I'm going to make an executive order for national security purposes about crypto very soon in February. Just have some people to talk to, and then we're going to do something. So, in my opinion, he's responding to Biden. not Biden is responding to Putin. Putin saying he's going to go around SWIFT, which that's really what crypto can do. I mean, that's why it was invented, was to go around payment systems and go around banks. And that's how the United States does its sanctions. If it wants to sanction another country, it just cuts it off from their money. And now all of
Well,
a sudden they can't seem to do that. I mean,
uh,
and the IMF is having the same problem. The International Monetary Fund is trying to threaten El Salvador, saying, "Don't you dare use Bitcoin, or we'll just have to tell you not to do it again."
right. Well, and what's funny, not funny. This stuff with these Canadian truckers
Oh,
up in Canada.
I missed
Have
that.
you heard? Oh, you missed that. So they're protesting these vaccine mandates, and this group of truckers. It's a huge convoy of truckers, and they're going across Canada, honking their horns to get freedom from vaccine mandates. Right. So this group set up a GoFundMe account for them, so that they can buy their gas and make some money to pay their expenses and food and lodging and all this stuff. And it's like this really big deal. So they came out a day or two ago, and GoFundMe said, "Oh, we're cutting you off. That account's shut down. You can't access it." Well, if that is not the biggest commercial for Bitcoin ever, I don't know what is. And so some people have put aside a Bitcoin fund, and will take care of that. So, Lon John, you are our buddy here. You're on every Faz Live broadcast. Hopefully, you'll join us actually in the voice on this at some point. I'd love to have you on, but we we don't want politics. We do tolerate politics directly related to crypto, which is kind of what we're talking about.
And
We're not
trust
going
me,
to.
Titan and I are complete opposites on politics. It's not like we have any shortage of opinions there. But I don't want to take over a crypto show or even a crypto Discord with whether we like or dislike a specific politician. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're gonna like something that a politician does and not like what another one does. Whoopee. This is more about crypto and informing people what's going on. Personally, getting back to the national security executive order on crypto, that's a big deal. That's a big deal because whatever he comes up with is going to strongly affect the crypto markets. If it's somewhat positive, the crypto markets, in my opinion, will just moon. If it is somewhat negative to downright scary, the crypto markets will just go through the floor. Now, I do think that they'll recover whatever Biden does. I think that maybe Biden's not stupid enough that he doesn't realize that he can't get tax money from this. I think that they really want to lock things down a lot more. The question is, how much are they going to do that? Are they going to make it? If they make it too onerous to use your crypto, I mean, if they start doing what the other countries do, like they ban it this week, only to unban it the next week. If he makes it too onerous, it's going to really depress crypto. And well, it's hard to say. There's a lot of businesses now in crypto. There's a lot of industries in crypto. I have a very hard time thinking that they're not talking his ear off right now and letting him know that there's a lot of tax money here, buddy.
Well, but not only that, they don't understand it. None of the politicians understand it. They're like, "Oh, we'll just ban it, and it'll shut down and go away." It
No.
doesn't work like that. And they can't seem to wrap their heads around that. And that's most of the people coming into crypto are the same way. They my I argued with my brother couple months ago about that. He's like, "They're going to pass a law and it's just going to go away." I'm like, "That's not how it works." And he's like, "Well, yeah, it is. They control it." I'm like, "No, they can't control it." "What do you mean they can't control it?" "Of course they can control it. They can do
No.
something." I'm like, "Yeah, no." So many people, I think the education, and that's why we're here. CryptoFaz Academy is for the education. It's it's not just a supplemental Gala Games channel. We want people to broaden everything, uh, crypto, their knowledge across the board, and some of the things we're even going to talk about tonight. These other P2E gaming platforms and things like that. We love Gallo. It's a passion of ours, so we're going to follow it very closely. But it's not who we are. Um, and these regulations, these taxes, these moves that are made, we want to educate people on them without. We all have biases, right? So we're going to throw out opinions, and we hope that other people in the channels will throw out their opinions without starting, political arguments.
And the
But
same goes with religion too. You start getting
right,
into
yeah.
religious arguments.
So
Come on, those have been going on for centuries. They're not teaching anything us about crypto. Yes, I have religious views too, and whatever. Go somewhere else. Go to Twitter.
but there's so much to do in this space, and I really hope that all of you who listen here and are a part of the Discord, whether or not you've come to us from Gala, are looking at these other channels, and learning, like Emerging Cryptos. That's a fantastic channel. You can go back in that one over the last year, and a lot of those tokens that we've dug into have been doing very, very well. Um, we need people to be excited. We want to hear about the projects that you're in, that you're excited about. We're not here to shill or throw referral links out. Well, that's not something we do either. But I'm passionate about a few. You all know that from Faz Radio and from Emerging Cryptos and Emerging NFTs. Again, we're not here to pump every single NFT project that comes out, but there's a few that are awesome, and we're passionate about. We like to share those, and we hope you do too. So as we grow together and as we learn together, we want those opinions, and we're not always going to agree, but we want to have respectful conversations about them. And if we disagree, we're respectful and say, hey, you know what, I don't buy into that, but I hope that somebody learns something from it.
I just had
Hey,
food
Maverick.
delivered. I just had food delivered, so I'm going to be quiet and let you talk a little bit more.
Well, I
This
love to talk.
this sounds like a good time to get into these GameFi projects you told me about, and I'll just get you going here. A while back, Titan, yeah, that's his name. Titan got me into Black Hole Sky, Star Atlas, and Rainmaker Games. He just did some research on them, and I'd like you to kind of take it from there.
All right, you can eat. I'm good for plenty of conversation. So we realized a few months ago, Jedstar. Yes, dude, I just bought some of those tokens like 2 weeks ago. I bumped into that one. So P2E gaming, like we're all right now, we're kind of laser focused on Gala. They are bleeding edge, and they are taking things to the new level. A lot of these platforms are doing, coincidentally or not, a lot of the same things that Gala Games is doing. So I wouldn't call Gala the leaders, but I would call them in the top three. So these other platforms, I dig deep. That goes into my financial planning history. I dig deep for all these things that maybe people gloss over or anything else, and I'll take them pretty deep. I'll look at their leadership, who's on their team, what they've done, what their goals are, where they're going, and look at them and see if they're worth pursuing differently. And of course, the disclaimer has to come out. You always got to do your own research. Just because Faz or any of the other senior members that post a lot here throw something into the Discord, please, please, please do your research on this before you jump in. Your goals are different than my goals. Your wallet has a different amount of money in it than my wallet has, or Faz's wallet, or anybody else's. So please do your research, look at these. But Black Eye Galaxy, that is a small project. They started out pretty small. They have a lot of similar qualities. They're doing a game which looks very similar to Echoes of Empire on the Gala platform. I know I do cater to Gala people because that's where a lot of you are from. So it's similar to that. Um, they are making pretty good strides. They have a platform. Uh, their token BYG has done respectable. And they have things that you can, the NFTs that you can buy on that platform as well to play the game. And they have some staking there for the tokens. Um, Very, very good little project to look into. They're starting to gain some traction. We have Jedstar. So it's funny that you mentioned that. I bumped into that a while ago and I kind of put it on the back burner, and I revisited them about 2 weeks ago. And I ended up buying a nice little bag of tokens there because they're making some significant progress. They have a very unique way of looking at it. Another project we've been discussing in the back channels is Mist. Not the same Mist as the regular game that was out there. This is a P2E platform. Mist is right now primarily on Pancake, is where you get their tokens. They are building a game similar to Mirandus. And if you would have looked at them about 6 months ago, you'd have thought, oh my God, I jumped in and I played the game. They had a demo up when I played it, and it was like crazy bad. And I came back to the group and I'm like, yeah, so I played this game and it's not coming up well.
And
So
then you told me to buy tokens in it.
yeah, I did. Because just by reading where they were and knowing where they are in their development process and looking at the team, that their progress on GitHub and things like that, they're very active. So I figured it would turn out better, and it did. So if you go there now, their gameplay is way, way better. I'm not sure. I haven't been there in about 2 weeks, so I don't know if they have a demo still up or not. I'll have to circle back on that myself. But Mist is a player to be reckoned with as well. I bumped into, now this is the most fascinating one. We reached out to a platform called Rainmaker Games, and they are very, very similar to Gala about 6 months ago, except they didn't come out the same way that Gala came out. They are a platform which is basically making it rain, hence Rainmaker Games. They are and I know we hate this in crypto, they are the middle person to bring together crypto gamers with game platforms with VCs as well. So they take that three triangle approach of VCs, game makers, and players, and they kind of coordinate all of that together on their platform. So Gala now does that in a different way. It was, hey, Gala's going to develop games. They're going to make great games to play. And then, hey, oh, well, we're going to talk to some other developers and let them come onto the platform and offer their games too. Well, that was kind of a a migration by Gala to have these other platforms on, whereas Rainmaker focused their launch directly onto this hey, we're kind of just grabbing everybody and throwing them in the right direction kind of approach. And they're gaining a lot of traction very, very quickly. I'm going to keep working with Rainmaker to get some of their executives to join us on a Faz Radio cast. There are some things that have to happen in order for that to happen. So it's in the works. We're getting to that point. But right now, the play to earn platforms that are out there are substantially behind where Gala is today. But here's the rub on that. They're catching up very, very quickly. 6 months from now, there's going to be a really, really big competition for gamers' money going on in the play to earn world.
What gets me about Gala Games competition, as it were, is I keep hearing, for GameFi and Metaverse games, two games: the Sandbox, and Decentraland. I do not understand why people like Decentraland. The game is boring. You go there, you just run around in circles. Maybe you attend some sort of event or something like that. It seems to be a platform in search of a point. Yes, that's an opinion of mine. Gala Games seems to be taking a different approach, like Titan was saying about Rainmaker Games. They're getting a lot of different gaming companies together, and then putting them under one umbrella, and then putting out the different games. And so Gala Games has a number of projects that we've heard about, and things that they're just working with other partners to get going. Decentraland is just a single game, and maybe they're just trying to do the Axie thing. I don't know, but I'm not aware of any mechanic like Axie that Decentraland is doing. Can anyone enlighten me on what Decentraland actually, what you do in the game? Can you actually play to earn in that game? Because I'd like to know where their valuation comes from, and I'm really curious about how many active users they have. I hear that it's not a lot, actually, and I'd like to know where we can actually look up that information. Minecraft should definitely get some crypto going with it, and get some advertisement in the crypto world, because I think they could clean up. Keep going, Titan. I'm back to eating again. Or not. You're muted, Titan. All right. So
sorry about that. Yes, I'm babbling away like an idiot and realized I put myself on mute.
Okay, good.
I
was going to go on. I was going to go on about Rainmaker Games, and that kind of sucked.
Yeah. So you would think with this bright flashing LED cool microphone I have, it would make sense to me, but it didn't. All right. So if you go back in Faz Radio history, go back about, I don't know, 8 months, 9 months. Faz and I had a terrific conversation regarding something that he mentioned, like with Minecraft and companies that would end up jumping into the blockchain gaming arena. And here was my contention on that. While there might be a lot of adults that play Minecraft, it's mainly kids. And you have a risk, I think, when you release a kids game on a crypto blockchain, because the parents have to be involved in order to get them the crypto, in order to spend the crypto. And if they launch it on anything that's requires a crypto wallet, this kid has to tell his parents, okay, well, you need a special wallet to get this, and you need to buy crypto. And then you're sucking the parents in, and most parents don't know the first thing about crypto at this point.
my kid is telling me I have to buy downloadable content, DLC, all the time.
Right. Well, all right. So it's a big learning curve, and I think that evolution is going to take a while. But Decentraland, I played that right when I first got into crypto, and I thought it was really cool. Um, I walked around this cool place, and I went in these buildings, and people had their own NFT art for sale in these galleries, in these homes that they have. You're standing in this house, and you're looking around, and there's like an NFT on the wall, and you hover over it, and you can buy it. I don't even know if OpenSea was around back then, but you could buy it right within the game. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is super cool. Um, uh, that's something I never even thought about. So I think they took like games like Decentraland and things like that. I think they came out as cutting edge like that. And then they realized they had too broad of a scope. Meaning it's a hey, just run around like Minecraft and do whatever you want. I'm not sure without a theme or without a goal in mind that's going to be very successful, and it doesn't surprise me that they're not doing as well as they anticipated, so to speak. Um, so when it comes to this P2E gaming, it's so new. All right. And I went off this afternoon. I was reading in one of the CFA channels about, they were talking about Gala, and, oh my goodness, we've got to find utility for Town Coin and da. Okay. So I went on this, I wallet text I posted. I'm getting really frustrated. So I was orange pilled onto Gala, but um, it's P2E gaming really that is the future. And Gala happens to be doing a pretty good job of it so far. But you have to realize in the crypto space, everything is so new. There isn't even really a finished playable game anywhere at this point. Um, there's betas, or what you would call a beta, that you can play, and a lot of it is clunky. Um, it it's evolving, and it takes time. And if you knew how hard it was to, I don't even know. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a developer, but I trust Faz. He's been doing that for 30 years. When he says it's ridiculously difficult, I believe him. And it's going to take time for them to get these platforms to where it's like you plug in your Xbox and play Call of Duty today. It's not going to be that same experience, and it's not going to happen in the next 30 days.
Well,
Okay?
maybe I can give 2 cents there. So people keep thinking that people are used to seeing a new movie, or see an ad for a new movie or an ad for a new game, and then it comes out and then they play it. And of course, usually movies kind of come out in a bunch at a time. In fact, movies are planned so that the same actors appearing in multiple movies, those movies come out back to back. So they try to pump up that actor's cred, and you're like, wow, so and so did a movie, so and so did another movie, so and so did another movie, and you're like, and you think, oh well, it could just happen all the time. No, dude, those movies were made 2 years ago. Um, the best way to think about that is the Ghostbusters movie that came out. The main character is this 9-year-old girl, and they do an interview with her now, and she's like 12, and she looks totally different because she's gone through puberty and stuff. And so, and it's like this movie just came out, and the same thing with the games. These games take a long time. I mean, what Red Dead Redemption 2 has just come out. In fact, I've been seeing stuff on YouTube. I want to get it. They've been making that for like the last 7 years. Um, I kind of knew that they were kind of making it, but they kind of weren't. But they kind of were. They didn't really want to say, and then all of a sudden it's out. But so unfortunately, I'd say unfortunately, in Gala Games' point of view, they're letting you know from the get-go. As soon as they make a deal with somebody, they're like, bam, I made a deal. guess what? That's 7 years, dude, or 6 years, or 5, depending on how they divide it up. It's not going to be overnight. But you're kind of hearing what the venture capital people do. As soon as you hear about a deal from, a game company, a venture capitalist puts his money in, and then they just forget about it for several years, and then finally the game comes out. And if the game doesn't come out in time, they start pressuring the studios, and the studio gets something out the door. Gala Games is trying to get away from that, and they're simply just telling you this is what we're doing. But be aware that they did kind of sneak Townstar out, but it's still a playable alpha. When I started playing Townstar last year, it had a whole lot less features. You couldn't put any NFTs in it, and it was a lot more simpler. And Townstar is going to be a lot different than it is now. There's going to be trading between players. They've already tested a feature where you can send supplies to different towns and stuff like that. Now, of course, I think the last thing you want to hear is how good Townstar is going to be, but more like when's Miranda's coming out. We found out about Miranda's the moment that they decided to do it, and so it's going to be the end of this year, mid next year, or something before that comes out. And these other games that they've invested in, hopefully they'll come out soon. I know that they've been wanting to get Spider Tanks out, like
Well,
Q1.
and prefacing this too, when you say come out, it still may not be a finished game. The another comment that I made the other day in a conversation
Yeah, it won't be finished.
is, I'm not sure that everyone understands the level of detail that Gala is putting into these games that they're making. And a lot of people are basing that off of what they're doing in Townstar right now. And they get this town set up, and once you get the basics and how to get a town running, you're up, you're running, you build your stuff, and it takes you all of what, 10, 12 hours tops. And then for the other 29 days, you go in for 10 minutes a day, you click a button, sell something, and you get your tokens, and you're like, this is the stupidest game I've ever seen. Okay, well, your early access to this, it is an alpha game. When Faz says the game will come out end of this year, mid next year, that'll be the playable alpha that Townstar is now. And it'll still take them months, if not years, to get the level of detail into these games for the vision that they have to build them. So it is not going to be a log in once a day, make 3 button clicks or put a script on and collect a bunch of Mirandas, and you're making $300,000 a year playing Mirandas and you live happily ever after. It's not going to be like that. You have to give them time. And everybody says, oh, I'm in it for the long term. Yeah, 3 years from now. You're not, because I'm watching you in our Discord and in Gala Games Discord, and you don't have a long-term vision. You have to have that long-term vision here. You really do. Let's talk about the reality of P2E gaming. This is brand new.
It's
The
newer
shit's
than
gonna,
new.
yeah, it's the
Newer.
shit's gonna go sideways on a regular basis. We just had at the end of January, somebody pushed a button and accidentally deleted the entire Townstar thing. And we had to start from scratch early. And then we ended up carrying on
Oh, they
after.
probably just hit a
So
reset button.
whatever. But again, you guys have to accept that if you're going to be here. You really do. Not just with Gala, with any gaming platform you get on. And you might lose some tokens. You might lose some ETH. You might click buttons and bad things happen. That's what you're signing up for. If you're looking, because I know every single person out there, and I've seen it on these Discords. You see, I see everything. We see you. When am I going to be a millionaire? Is the attitude. And it's not going to happen for a long time unless you're in early. You're in early. You're in very early here on all these platforms that we're talking about. Gala, Rainmaker, Black Eye Galaxy, Mist, all of them. You're in very early. And that's the risk that you take. Your return is based on your risk. The risk is you're going to lose stuff. Things are going to go sideways. Things are going to break. You're going to get frustrated, bang your keyboard. That's what you pay, the price you pay. And if you want to have a perfect experience, shut your wallet down, disconnect MetaMask, buy tokens and everything that you like for 2 or 3 years, and then jump back onto the platform and play. Then you'll have a close to perfect experience here. We want to be able, that's why we're here. That's why we're doing the
That's
Discord. It's why we're
it's going to
doing the
be the
Faz
same.
Radio.
It's going to be the same situation if you get into Rainmaker Games, Star Atlas, Black Hole Sky, any of these others. I mean, it's the same thing. People are thinking that they're going to be making money right away. No, I mean that you might as well just day trade crypto. You'll probably get quicker turnaround. The fact that Gala jumped so quickly, Gala, I became aware of them in August or September of 2020, and I bought some NFTs and stuff. The fact that they jumped so quickly, that was a surprise for me. It's a surprise for everybody. And now everybody sees that happening. They think it's going to happen again. It probably will if the whole crypto market, like if that legislation goes through and is favorable to the crypto market, yeah, all the coins will pump. But Gala still won't come out with games faster. They'll probably have a lot
Well,
more marketing.
and think about it. Look what happened. We've talked about this in the Discord. Look what happened with Axie. Right? Everybody thought, oh, Axie is the shit. They've got everything together. Look at these token prices. SLP $100 a token, and people are earning thousands a day. And there's people who ran an entire business on, having 100 people run their Axie characters.
And then that crashed.
And it crashed. Why? Why did it crash?
I
Well,
read a good article about some
yeah.
reasons for that.
Yeah, so I was just going there.
Okay.
Faz posted an article in news a couple of days ago that talks about that. And there's another fantastic article about why NFT gaming, the P2E platform, has struggles. And if you read that article, you'll learn some things that definitely apply to Gala and apply to the whole industry as a whole. And it's a really good read. It's worth the 10-minute read.
But the TLDR of the article is,
oh,
well, I can go into that if you like.
yeah, do it.
They're still figuring out the economies. I believe the consensus is that Axie went downhill because, one, they didn't have a good kind of, the NFTs got too expensive. It was thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for single NFTs, and so they didn't have a rental system in place, and so the community came up with this whole scholar thing, which is very highly based upon trust. The scholars were kind of taking advantage. Some scholars were bad and not paying people like they should. But whatever the case is, you had a lot of people that were playing the game and getting this money daily for daily subsistence. And the thing is, when the token is high, people are all cashing out as quickly as possible because they want to get as much money as they can. But then when the token goes lower, well, yeah, people cash out more because it starts going lower. But then once it crosses a certain point, you can no longer subsist on. It's cheaper to just go get a job, and so then you have a whole bunch of players drop off. And so I think a lot of these P2E coins are going to be fine. They're going to go up really high because of initial interest, and then it's going to start falling as people cash out. And then they're going to realize that they don't have a balanced economy. They don't have enough sinks in the game. Things are going to crater, and then people are going to walk away because they can't make any. They can make more money just asking for money on the street corner. And then, well, what it actually do, they retooled, and so now they're making SLP a lot more rare, and they're redoing their economy. Gala's already ready for that. They've got a lot of economic levers in place. You could see them putting these levers in place. So when things start becoming less profitable, players are going to go away. As far as watching the price, they can't tell you that they're watching the price. That's going to make things a security. I think that they're probably interested in the price, but they certainly couldn't make any guarantees with the price. However, the price does matter as far as bringing people in. If the price goes too low, nobody's going to play the game. So they're going to probably think, oh, we better fix our economy. Remember, Gala's whole point is to get you to buy NFTs. And then as you make that town, they want to recapture that money, that town that they give you, so that you buy more NFTs with it. So any value that you get out of the game, they want back. And they want to make you excited with each new NFT they give you. So they actually, in a way, they don't want you to cash out. I mean, in a way, I think they want you to make the money, pay it to them, and then they cash out. So it's going to be a balance, and they're going to go up. It's going to go up and down, and that's why they have the separate coins for each game. The Town Star roller coaster is going to be different than the Mirandus roller coaster, and that's going to be different from the Spider Tanks roller coaster. If you use one coin for all of them, then that's going to tie all those games together, and it's going to get really complicated to manage. So I can see why they're making all the different coins. I think all of this is really complicated for the average user to understand, and it's even more complicated to get regulated. So all this stuff is just starting up and fleshing out. I bet in 6 months it's going to be just totally different, 180 degrees different than it is now.
Oh, it absolutely will be. And that, I think, is so. Faz has talked about this both publicly and privately many times before. The whole part of this that a lot of people don't understand is that you have the ability to do whatever you want with the tokens that you get from that play to earn game, right? So you can reinvest it into more NFTs, you can cash it out, you can do whatever you want with it. You also own those NFTs, and you have to know when to get in and when to get out. It's just a thing that you have to learn as you go through this. Something that's really important, especially with the utility on these, because people are going bonkers over utility. All right. They haven't gotten that far yet. They're learning how to develop a P2E economy as we do it. This is live. They're experimenting. This Town Star playable, where they're kind of changing things up and doing different things, the reason that they're doing that is to gear up for other games, to be a test bed for how play to earn economies work. So yes, there's going to be some stupidity going on back and forth with the price of NFTs, the payouts on NFTs, the price of the coin, what you can sink it into,
And they're figuring
how
out what
much
they're
to put
doing.
back in.
They barely know what they're doing, and people are freaking out like, you should have known, or are you guys actually, experts at this or what? No, nobody's experts. This is all new. This is the Wild West. That's why crypto goes up so high. Just saying. Keep going.
Okay. So, wait a minute. I'm control copying and control
Did you find the article?
pasting.
'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
found
for it.
the article. Here is the article. I'm going to paste it into the YouTube window. And I will. No, you're going to delete that other channel, so I'm
Yeah,
not going to
Crypto
post
View.
it there.
The 35 games are going to be coming out over time. It's obviously they're not going to come out at once. But what's funny about that is people are like, "Where's the next game? Where's the next game?" And then Gala announces another game, and they're like, "Jesus Christ, could you stop putting out so many games? Just concentrate on getting one out." And there's something to remember about Gala Games is they're not making the games. They're getting partnerships. Eric Schiermeyer is going to all of his friends and all the people he knows in the industry and making deals with them. He's just a deal maker. and he's been in the software development world, but he's making the deals, he's bringing them in, and he's like, okay, you got this, we can do it like that. Okay, let's put out an announcement. Are you guys ready yet? No, then he's not going to say anything. So that's what a lot of those games are, is they're waiting for things to get to a certain point, and then he's still going out and getting more games, getting more people to come in, so he can have a steady supply of games. But they're all separate gaming companies. They're different studios. I think he wants to be more like Alphabet than be like Google. Google has a bunch of services, but then they determined after a while that really we need Google being one service under a lot of things, so they can absorb separate companies and have them a certain way and stuff.
I think.
Did you paste that in there? I didn't see
it. I saw it. I put it in the chat in the YouTube room. Where do you want me to put it?
Oh, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
I'll trust you. I didn't see it pop up in the chat.
I put it in the chat. So when it comes to P2E gaming, keep your options open. Okay. There maybe Faz, before we wrap up on this P2E part, maybe if you could share a little bit of the experiment that you did last week when we were over and you purchased the Starship. Oh, what was that?
Oh, in Star Atlas.
Atlas, yeah.
So I do a lot of investigating of other cryptos, and there was a night about a week or two ago where I got Titan on the phone, and I just ran through. By the way, send me the link, Mr. Titan, and I'll.
They're saying it's not showing up. I can see it right on my screen.
Well, send it to me anyway. They don't see it.
Anyway, did you block me from posting links?
I must have. Anyway, so I was looking at Star Atlas, and I got Titan on the phone, and I just started walking through. Okay, let's buy a ship. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I was getting all the pieces together, and we were learning a lot about how that stuff went together. And he's like, "Wow, you should make like a show with this, because that would help out people a lot." Well, if truth be told, he was looking at my wallet balances, and he was seeing me paste in things that I didn't want people to see on the show and stuff like that. So I've yet to do that yet, but I think we should record something and do something like that. Okay, so he pasted it here, and I'm gonna put copy paste right here. I think because I'm like in charge of this, I'm using StreamYard, so it might be that I'm just special and you're not. I don't know.
Yeah, well, again, we're figuring this out, but
so there's the first link about how basically this guy was saying NFTs don't work. NFT games don't work. And it's a very well written article. The problem is he's trying to make a judgment about something that's obviously going to change and adapt. Yeah, they don't work the way that they are set up right now, but they're going to change. I mean, that's like saying Microsoft's going to fail. No, they're not. They're too big. They're just going to change the way their company works, and then they'll still make money. The Gala Games is huge. You might not think they're huge, but they're fucking huge. Now they are. They have a lot of money, and they will. They're watching everything that Axie is doing. They're watching everything that Decentraland and other people are doing, and they're learning from those mistakes. So there's a second article which I posted, which I thought was a good follow-up to this one, which I'm pasting right now.
Yeah, that one was good too.
Which was Axie Infinity adapting. So the first article is like, NFT games suck. And the second article is, well, Axie's not doing that anymore. Well, that's everybody. Anybody who has any kind of business. I've worked for several startups. Things work until they don't. And then they all get together and they come up with a different way of doing it, and they make money again. And everybody's like, oh my God, they're going down. They're going down. Well, even companies that suck. I mean, Microsoft was going to go down so many times in the past. I mean, they're not going away. And a lot of big companies aren't, because they have the money to fuck up. That's really it. They can reinvent themselves over and over again. Yeah, Gala's huger than you think, which is, it's nice to get in NFTs with, with a company that's huge and they're still not well known, because once they get well known, I mean, these guys, I'm trying not to sound like a fanboy. I'm trying to sound more like, yep, those are the two links. I'm trying not to sound like a fanboy. I'm just trying to sound realistic. If you think Gala's big now, oh my God, if they become like, known, well known, like a game company, watch out.
Well, and okay, so everybody
No, I'm not.
complains.
I'm not.
No, no, no. What? Let me finish my
No, I was talking to
thought.
Lon John here.
Oh,
Okay, fan man.
um,
Okay, that's fine.
so we are fans, yes, because we're excited about where it's going. So maybe one. All right, so you have these NFTs, and everybody complains. Oh, these NFTs are ridiculously expensive. Oh my God. Da, 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 da. They're only going to get more expensive as time goes on. Okay. You have platforms like Black Eye Galaxy, Star Atlas, um, some of these others that we've talked about, and you can go in there and for $50 you can get something cool. Okay. But you, you, you don't have the ability at this point to do much with it. You're not earning much on it. The moral of the story, when Faz and I went through him buying that ship, and we sat and we did math, for they said, oh well, you can use this now even though the game's not live. You can use it, and you're playing to earn right now. And by the time you netted out everything that you needed to do, it was like $16 a month from buying that ship. And you look at it and you go, well, people only see that front end. You go, well, I'm getting, 24,000 tokens. Okay, well then you have to repair your ship. You got to put food on it. You got to put gas in the tank. You
And
got to
there's the
do
exchange
this.
rate.
And there's exchange rate, and then there's ETH fees and this and that and the other. And by the time you get down to it, you're making $16 a month.
And Gala
It's
is
like,
blowing that out of the fucking water.
right, you're paying more for an NFT, but you're getting way more back. And the other example of that is if you talk to some of the old timers, yes, Faz, you're an old timer. You have experienced in the past something such as a Miranda's outpost, right? You've seen the movement on that with people that you know. Talk about when those first came out versus what they're selling for now.
Oh hell, Miranda's Outposts, they were like $500 when they came out. I remember when Miranda's first started, the homesteads were $62, and I bought a bunch because it's like $62. But I didn't have a lot of money back then. I had no real crypto money. Um, but I bought a couple outposts, and there's no way. And then after a while, I was able to uh, trade and get a village of the Baron from somebody, and now that's what I'm holding back. I'd have a village. It'll be called Faz Village or something. Um, but now, oh my God, if you look at those outposts on OpenSea, they're what, like $20,000, 30,000, something like that. Um, Actually, I got in those Townstar NFTs a bit late, and so I actually sold an outpost for $18,000. I put all those into Townstar NFTs, and so now I have. So I was able to kind of catch up. Fazville, exactly. I like that name. Um, so luckily I was able to put it to some good use, but that's some mega profit with that game, and the game isn't even out yet. Um, Watching how they're managing the economy on Townstar is interesting because they've already changed how much money how much town that these NFTs are making in Townstar. And I think once we get into Miranda's, I do have a guild, and it's in a hidden channel in CryptoFaz Academy. It's called the Faz Syndicate, in case people are interested, because it's going to be hard to run those Miranda's villages and Miranda's outposts and stuff because you need shops in there. And their whole goal is for you to have rent to somebody. So either you get a shop and you put it in my village and I rent you the space, or you rent a shop that I have in my village, and you're going to need renters, because I guarantee if you have more than just a few Mirandus NFTs, you're not going to be able to manage them all. It's not like Townstar where you're just going to dump them in the game and just collect money from them. It's going to be, well, you're going to have to make the flour, you're going to have to bake the cakes, and you're going to have to do this just for the bakery one. And then for the weapon one, you're going to have to get the iron. You're going to have to buy this from people, and you're going to have to do this and do that and whatever. You get like 3 or 4 stores going, that's going to be a full-time job.
Yeah, this is way bigger. So there was a comment in here, and I'm sorry I don't know the name because I don't know how to read those characters. I apologize. But um, talking about worrying how many games they're adding so fast. So I talked about this uh, publicly and privately over the last few weeks. That is something, and Faz, you can agree with me on this because you told me the same thing about a year and a half ago. You said the biggest problem that companies face is growing too fast. And it is a problem. And that is a concern of mine. It's not like I don't have concerns about Gala or Black Eye Galaxy or Rainmaker. Of course I do. But you have to weigh that out for what your belief is in the system and where you see them going. And when you look at all of that together, you have to wait and see how it's reacted to. So they meaning any of these gaming platforms may be able to handle big growth. We just don't know yet. We'll find out, obviously, one way or another, if they're able to handle it. Um, they've scaled fairly well, Gala has, and we're hoping that that continues. They've been improving over time dramatically, in my opinion. I hope they don't get ahead of themselves. I really don't. Some of these other platforms, that's where the complaints come from. They're real slow. Oh my God, this game, they've been developing it for 2 years, and there's a crappy version that we can play online now. And da, da, da. Again, that goes back to earlier in this conversation. It takes time. And now is the accumulation phase. Okay. Now is the time when you want to accumulate these assets for whatever games get you excited, because they're never going to be cheaper once the game gets closer and once the game starts.
And you got to forget about it for a while.
Think about that. Think about how powerful that is. There's exemplars that I see on OpenSea that are dirt cheap right now, like $200. When Mirandus, when they pump on the Gala announcements or the Mirandus announcements or whatever they do, playable game starts in 30 days. Do you think the price of that exemplar is going to drop, or do you think it's going to go up? If you go to Star Atlas and you do like Faz and you buy this ship and you get your $16 a month or whatever it is, and you say, boy, this is stupid, I'm just going to maintain it. And they come out and say, fully playable beta available in 30 days. Do you think the price of those ships is going to go up or down? Think about that. This is where you are. You think it's expensive now, it's only going to get way more expensive later. So,
well,
for those of you who are like me, when I started, I'm going to say one more thing and then I'll let you jump in. When I started my crypto adventure, I had exactly $800 that was riskable. Okay. And I've grown that more than 15x at this point. And half, I was telling Faz the other night, uh, half of my crypto holdings are now in NFTs. Not all Gala NFTs, but half of them are in NFTs. If you'd have asked me a year ago where my crypto balance would be or where my gaming balance would be or anything else, I would have been like, dude, I got like $83 I can throw at this thing. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. little bits and pieces, and then you trade up, and little bits and pieces, and then you trade up. That's how you do it.
Okay.
That's what I've done, and I've built something out of it.
So that's a good point with with trading up little bits and pieces. So Lon John is basically saying you're betting the game is good. Yeah, really, honestly, this whole gaming NFT world is introducing the common person into venture capitalist world. Venture capitalists have, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars that they put into a game. They have no idea how it's going to work. And now Gala Games and other people are saying, okay, we can't or won't get venture capitalists. We'd like you guys to get the money. And so then you guys got to do the same exact thing, and you see exactly what they do. And yeah, it's risky. I certainly hope that Mirandus will be good, because I'm quite into it, and I'm actually also quite into Echoes of Empire. I have a couple NFTs with the other ones, but those are the two that I really want to play well with. And something you got to be aware of is, to be dead honest, I wouldn't have played Townstar right off the bat. I mean, it looks like a SimCity clone, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of nice, but it makes money, and that's why people like it. So I can tell you that if there's any game out there that makes people money, they will play it. The question is, okay, fine. Now that Townstar is out and I'm playing the game, and even if it's not my first choice, I'm getting good at it. I'm going to have a lot of suggestions for them. And that's where you get in and you're more able to change the game when you're playing this. And so if Miranda's comes out and it sucks, and I have a village and I have a bunch of people, we can go start raising some shit at my Discord or on Gala Games and be like, look, we need to change these features. So that's what you do. You do have an effect on the game. The question is, Gala's still starting out. They don't know how much of an effect you should have. Their goal is to make everything completely decentralized, where anybody can put up something to vote on, and we can have the community manage all this stuff. They've said in the beginning that they really want the community to be in charge at the end. But and they just want the Gala Games just wants to be a developer or somebody that brings in more games. I think they're years off from seeing that vision. At least 5 years, for 5 or 10 years from seeing that vision. Um, that's a good, cool vision. Right now, we're looking at all these votes on the nodes, and we're like, oh my god, these are so stupid votes. They're just making it. They're just trying out votes. They're just like, okay, we've got something to vote with. Let's put stuff out that people can vote on. They don't have the setup yet for anybody to come up with anything, and they need more direction to get something better out. Because right now, if you vote on something right when it first starts, Mirandus is all of a sudden going to be a game set in the Roman Empire instead of set in the medieval Europe. I mean, they're. I think they have a certain direction that they want to go right now, because they're just starting everything out. They're going to work all that stuff out eventually, and that's a ton of work. I don't envy them.
Yeah, I mean, you have to pick games that you're actually going to enjoy playing. Otherwise, it's a job and you're not going to like it, even though it's play to earn. I focus so everybody has their preferences, right? I'm focused on Mirandus, which I'm not a gamer. I've never played games before. All right, I'll admit it. But that's exciting to me. I like the fortified game. So I've played tower defense games before, and I freaking love them. There was this place called Candy Stand. It used to be a place you can go to, and they had a million games on there, and it was I
All right,
forget
now,
the name of the
Grandpa.
game. All right, so my point being is that you don't have to ape in to everything Star Atlas has to offer. You don't have to have one of every ship. You don't have to ape into every game that Gala Games puts out. You don't have to do that, because then you're spreading everything out and you're not going to have as much in every game. Focus on the games you think you would enjoy playing. So I think I would enjoy Mirandus. I think I would enjoy Fortified. So I'm putting the bulk of my purchases in those games. And I love the Voxes. I want as many Voxes as I can get my
The
hands on.
legacy game, I think the card game looks interesting. to me, but only because I collect Magic cards.
Yeah.
Uh, but
So
I haven't had enough money, honestly, to put into the legacy game, so I just bought a couple of those NFTs.
yeah, I mean, it depends. Maybe when it comes out, you look at it and go, yeah, well, maybe I'd play that. It might be fun. You don't know sometimes till you get into it.
Maybe I'll sell some Miranda's NFTs to get a bunch of legacy ones, just like I did with
No,
Townstar.
don't do that. Um,
Well, we know
so
what you want.
well, no. So I think as we all go forward with many of these platforms and many of these games, we have to communicate and talk amongst ourselves about what are the pros, what are the cons. Just because somebody throws out an opinion, I don't want you to think that if I come back and say, "Arr," you got to think of it this way. That doesn't mean that what you're thinking or what you're saying is wrong. It's just you know, everybody has different views on how they want to approach this. And do I want to be a gamer as a full-time job? No. Of course I want the money. Who doesn't, right? But I don't want to do that 8 hours a day. I don't want it to be a job. I want it to be something to where I can play something, and if I play it for 3 hours, hey, I get paid for it,
You want to
right?
be laughing all the way to the bank. I get it.
Well, no, I mean, I do. If I'm gonna put my effort and my time into it, it's nice to get paid. Absolutely. Who doesn't like that? If you can sit around and play games and get paid for it, what the hell? Let's all do that. But I don't then it's a job. Then you got to get up at 9 in the morning because you've got 5 games you've got to put 3 hours into every day to make the kind of money you want to do. It's a job and then it's no fun anymore.
Yeah, about the free player stuff. That's, I think, something that's missing from those games, and I think that right now they're missing because you need a player base to be able to have that kind of ramp. I think that's an awesome goal for them to have, and I thought I heard them talking along those lines, but they've always mentioned that NFTs are how the games run. I totally agree. I think that you should be able to play the game enough to earn an NFT and then earn your way up to be a millionaire. I mean, eventually.
Yeah, but we don't run any of these companies, so we can have our opinions.
The Gala power
Um,
is
y-
is a bit is a
yeah,
bit of a
Gala
bummer.
Power, they've already said is going to be per game. So there'll
Per
be a
Oh wow,
standard.
per game?
Yeah,
That's
so
gonna
it'll be
suck.
it's going to be the same. Well, at least right now, the latest that I saw in the Gala Games server, the way I interpreted what they put out for that is that like the Gala token will always like be that standard, right? You'll have Gala power that you can generate from that. But the in-game token, like they do with Townstar, will and should be the primary driver of the Gala power
Well,
that
the
you get
question is,
for that game.
Will Gala give you points for multiple games, or will you have to choose?
I,
Because
I
if you have to
can't say.
choose, then you're going to have games taking space away from money away from the other games.
Right,
Uh,
and I don't I don't know. I people talk, but it goes so fast over there.
I don't
I
think
don't
they've
want to
said anything
speculate.
official with that.
No, well, so they did say there was a colored name in there that did confirm that it would be per game. Now, the details on that, I'm not sure if they said it or if it was just people in the Discord speculating. So that's why I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, remember, Town provides 2x Town Gala power right now. So if you had spider tanks, the tank coin would obviously produce more, and Miranda's coin would produce more. I'm thinking if you have Gala, you're going to want that specific coin in your wallet because not everybody has a billion Gala that they can support every game with.
Well, and
They want to keep the
that's
stuff in the game.
but don't forget that's a driver that gets people to buy more Gala tokens. That helps Gala Games when they make those restrictions because, oh, well, now I need 10,000 gala in this game and I need 10,000 gala in that game. I have to go buy 10,000 more gala for this new game. So don't don't poo-poo that. That may very well be what they want to do. They may make you on Gala Chain, you might have a slider bar or an allocation somehow, like, you have your boxes with your games in it where you've got to put percentages of how much of your gala you're going to allocate to each of those games. That could easily be what Gala Chain functionality is.
I bet that doesn't happen at first because they were just talking about the integration between Gala and Spider Tank as taking longer. So if that does happen, I think it'll happen not right away, maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, we're speculating here. We don't get any extra information that we don't pass along, and a lot of it is us just speculating as it is anyway.
Blowing it out our
So,
rear.
we look at it from our perspective, from the player's perspective, right? So this is what we want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what we're going to get. So we're not experts, otherwise we'd have our own Faz platform for games. I don't know how to do that, so that would be all you. I would just stand here and be a cheerleader.
Of course. Anyway, so we're after over about an hour. We're at an hour and 16 minutes. If anybody has any more questions, I'd be happy to talk to them. If not, I'm thinking we might want to wrap this up.
That sounds good. Any last minute questions that we haven't discussed? Throw them up now or forever hold your peace, at least till next Sunday when we do another one.
That's what we need. We need cheerleaders. And and I will tell you that I don't know if you know who Forged in Crypto is.
Yeah.
But him and I we're going to be having an interview. Not just him and I, but him and me and Titan. But I don't know when. We haven't settled on a date yet.
Forged in Crypto knows what he's talking about. There is no doubt.
He's that Miranda's Vault owner. I think he just sold of Miranda's Vault, but he's got a bunch of NFTs.
I've talked with him as well, and I've seen the stuff that he posts. Very, very knowledgeable in a lot of different areas. I think you and I are going to learn just as much as the people on the listening end of this when it comes to that. Maybe he'll school us a little bit.
So are there some questions about taxes that somebody wants to know? Not that we know anything about taxes. We've just been researching some stuff. We are not financial advisors in any way, or tax attorneys, or tax people. So if you think that, you're wrong.
We're guessing. We're taking the information available. Telling the best we've found and putting it out. So Ben, I see your thing there. We do post these live sessions, so you can listen to the whole thing if you so desire. It isn't like if you miss the live, you'll never hear it again. We do post it on the Faz Radio YouTube channel so that you can go back and listen to old versions of our babblings. No, I don't know anything about Canadian taxes. That's something we should think about. We are kind of tunnel vision on U.S. taxes because that's where we live. I'm wondering if maybe as we go along, we might want to branch off and put some other countries' tax rooms in the CFA. What do you think?
I think we need a little bit more interest in the ones that we have right now. I'd like to see a lot more back and forth first. We do have a channel that I call Tax Idiots, because people are just trying to figure out how Coinly works and so on. And some people were interested in that right away, but nobody's really talking in the channel. So I didn't want to create a whole lot more channels.
Okay.
Until it becomes obvious that we need them.
Get the word out. And again, we're not experts. We're just going with what we got and what we hear and what we find and what we research. And you should always check that with a tax accountant or tax attorney. But we can throw out our opinions left and right. So get active in those tax channels if you want some more information there, and help educate us on other countries as well, so that maybe we can keep some of that knowledge handy. And if it becomes a big thing for there's, 30, 40 people that are all in one country, we could talk about maybe splitting that off. Yeah.
Somebody here has a question. Have you heard anything about claiming buying Gala NFTs is your business and you could write them off? That's something that I was actually looking into doing myself. Um, there seems to be a little bit more prep that I needed to do to get that moving, because Titan was schooling me last night on, well, you need to make sure that any accounts you have, any wallets you have, everything is dedicated for that business. You can't combine your personal crypto accounts and stuff with that. And one thing I don't know is uh, how are businesses seen differently with crypto and so on. So I'm going to probably be researching that for the next year myself. That's what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, I have a business myself, and I'll be looking into that. We're just kind of touching into that. We're looking to shift that focus over towards the business aspect. So as we learn, we'll share. And to give you a little more insight as well, we do apologize for the lunchroom being our funnel for everybody new coming in. We appreciate your patience there. Faz and I wish we could be in front of the CFA Discord 24 hours a day, but we have to sleep, we have to eat, we have other things we need to do. We get to everybody as quickly as we can, just like in the rooms too. So if you have questions, we'll get to them as soon as we can. If you tag us and stuff like that, we will. We promise. We'll get there as soon as we can.
It's because of bots. We're getting
Yeah,
utterly slammed by bots. They come in. Most bots just say hi. They come in, they just say hi, and then they don't talk anymore after that. And any bot that comes in, it's they're the only channel they're going to see is that lunchroom. Period. Unless people start talking or identifying that they're not a bot. I know a lot of people like to lurk, but I need you to identify yourself as a real human, and then sure, you can do whatever you want.
and yeah, and then also the same thing with we had quite a few people who like to come in and just post links and disappear to shill whatever it is they're selling. We don't tolerate that either. So if you have a project you want to promote, that's great, but let's do it in like emerging cryptos, emerging NFTs, but be a member of it, not something that you're selling or referring or getting money from. We don't appreciate that. So we're getting to everybody as quickly as we can. We've started assigning out a hall monitor role, so that others can help us let people in and monitor for the F bombs and all that kind of fun stuff. As you show yourself and contribute to the Discord, we assign those roles. If you want to help out, please let us know. We could use a little bit of
Hey,
help with that.
anybody that would like to verify that people are human, I have a hall monitor role that somebody could do the verifications and turn people into students. I mean, there's a we we'd like to make this a good place where people can learn stuff, and people do come for community as well. So if you'd like to help, please let me or Titan know, and we can get you set up.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, okay. What else? I don't see any
I
other
I think that's it. Let's
pressing questions. Yeah, I got to get to bed myself. It's getting late where I am.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, for attending. Very much appreciate you guys coming in and asking a lot of questions. It makes us feel like we're doing something worthwhile.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye bye, guys.